Hi, I'm Ray with Arizonacontrols, and this is our Viper 3D printer. Today I'm going to show you how to align the extruder nozzles for two-color printing. This is accomplished by printing a calibration test square. The test square is comprised of two squares, a 1-inch square, which will be printed in one color, and a half-inch square that will be printing in another color in the center of the 1-inch square. The extruder nozzles will be aligned by changing the extruder offsets in the Marlin firmware and then uploading the updated firmware to the printer. You will need to connect the printer to your computer in order to do this via a USB cable. You will need to perform this procedure anytime that you disassemble and reassemble the hot ends if you want to print in two colors. Let's print a calibration test square and see where we're at.
Okay, so the first thing it's going to do is print a skirt, two lines around the perimeter of the part. This is the outer square. What we're going to be doing is checking for alignment between the two extruder nozzles. If they're not in alignment, we're not going to complete the print because it's not necessary. When the second extruder comes over, it's going to print a skirt as well, and we'll be able to see right away whether we're in alignment or not, because the file is perfectly aligned. And as you can see, it's off. So we're going to let it print the inner square in one layer, and then we're going to stop the print and we'll take some measurements. And stop. We'll raise the extruder out of the way and take a look at what we've got. So here's the print, and what we're seeing is that the right extruder is to the left, and we're possibly off just a little bit on the y-axis front to back. We'll take some measurements with a ruler and just kind of get an idea of where we're at. So as you can see with the ruler, we're about 1.5 millimeters to the left with the right extruder. There is a certain amount of overlap in these prints, but so it may be as much as 2 millimeters. And you can kind of see here, it looks like front to back it's off at the most 0.5 millimeter. So we're going to have to adjust our extruder offsets in the Arduino software in Marlin. Okay, so I've opened up Marlin, which is the firmware program for the printer, and I've opened it with Arduino 1.6.9, which is a free download on the internet. If you look down here at the bottom, this shows the processor on the motherboard and the COM port that it's communicating on. So we're using a Mega 2560 on COM7. If this is the first time that you're using the Marlin firmware and the wrong processor is there, you're going to have to assign it the correct processor in the correct COM port. You do that by going to Tools, and here's the board. You want the Arduino Genuino Mega 2560, and you want the Atmega 2560 processor. And the software is real good about identifying which COM port the board is on and what it's connected to. And as you can see, this one is COM7. So in order to change the offsets, we're going to go to Configuration H file. And the easiest way to find the offsets is to click Edit, Find, and type in offset. And the first instance of the word offset in this tab is extruder offset, which is right where we wanted to go. So here's the two offsets. Extruder offset X, which is left to right. 0.0 is assigned to the left extruder, or extruder 1. 35 is assigned to the right extruder, which is extruder 2. And then the extruder offset Y is front to back. 0.0 is assigned to extruder 1, and 0.0 is assigned to extruder 2. In this software, there are things called comments, which are simply for your reference and informational purposes and don't affect the program at all. A single line comment is preceded by 2 forward slashes, and then this is a comment. And what I like to do when I'm changing these offsets is put the original value and nest it in this comment. So if we make a change, we go in the wrong direction, when we come back we're going to know where we started from. So I'm going to put 35.0, and I'm going to put 0.0. So now we'll know our start points. And a word of caution, just make sure that you don't delete anything that you shouldn't. If you delete so much as, say, this curly bracket, the whole program will not work. So just be careful. If you do mess up and it can't compile, you can always just copy another instance of the program from the CD that came with your printer. So, as we saw with the print, we were off by about 1.5 to possibly 2 millimeters on the x-axis, which is the left to right. So I'm going to change this number to 33. And the extruder offset Y, it might have been 0.5 millimeter. So I'm going to change this to 0.5. Now if we go in the wrong direction and we come back, we're going to be able to see where our start point and how we changed it. So if we went in the wrong direction, say here, instead of going to 33, we would simply change it to 37. We just add 2 to the number. Now to upload it, you just click this button. And you'll see down here it says compiling sketch. Compiling sketch, in Arduino language, a sketch is a program. So it's compiling the program. And what's going to happen is, once it's compiled, it's going to upload to the motherboard and update these offsets and any other changes that you may have made. Once that's done, it's going to say done uploading, and it won't make you sit through that, so we'll just move on. Okay, so now you can see we are uploading to the motherboard, and this whole procedure usually takes anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes to compile, and then about 30 seconds to a minute to upload. And anytime you do this, you don't have to save it, it automatically saves whenever you compile a sketch. And we're done uploading.
Now that we made our adjustments, let's run another test print and see where we're at.
Okay, so here we go. We won't really be able to see anything until the second extruder prints a skirt and the inner test square, of course, but luckily this doesn't take very long. The whole print's only about 2.5 to 3 minutes. I designed it that way just for this purpose. And here we go. The skirt looked pretty good. And the inner square looks pretty good. But the only way you can really tell is when it's all done and you look at it from an overhead perspective. The whole print only consists of 6 layers. And remember, you only need to do this if you're going to do 2 color prints. If you took the extruder apart or disassembled it, put it back together, and it's out of alignment with the other extruder, if you're only doing a single color print, it doesn't matter. You could use either extruder because you're only going to use one extruder at a time. So this is only for performing 2 color prints. So we've got a little piece of plastic on there. Oh, it's going to clean up after itself. That's nice. Well, everything looks really good. The corners are sharp. Everything looks like it's properly aligned. I don't think we need to make any more adjustments. Let's go print some stuff.
If you like this video and want to see more like it, please subscribe below and toss us a like. We always welcome any comments. Please feel free to visit us at www.arizonacontrols.com. Have a great day and thanks for watching.